Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to compile and run, also known as execute, a program in your Cloud9 workspace. So for this video, I'm going to go off of assignment 2. Okay, we're going to update the Hello World program so that the whole Hello World program will output this text instead of this one. Okay, so let's get the Hello World program. We are going to use the terminal, and for this assignment we want to put the source code under E160, under homeworks, under 2.1. And you'll notice right now we're in the top level workspace, and here's where we want to traverse down to, right? E160 all the way down to homeworks and to 2.1. So we'll change directories into E160, then onto homeworks, and then onto 2.1. And if we look at the directory now that we're in, we've successfully changed into this directory. Okay, and if we list it out, there is no files or directories within this folder. Okay. All right. So now let's copy down the hello world. So Touch created it, and we'll just open it and copy in our contents. We'll clean it up a little bit. Okay, so that's our hello world, our modified hello world. And we don't want to make changes directly to this file, just in case you want to keep it for reference or revert back to a working state. So we are going to make a copy of it, because when we turn it in, we're going to turn in a file with our username and the assignment number. Okay, so let's copy hello world, and we're going to use our username and our assignment number with underscores and .c. Okay, now we open this file up, it will be identical, and this is the one we will be working on and submitting. So let's just close hello world. Okay, so one thing about the file names, this is my email. So this portion here is my ID. Okay, and that's the portion we want to name our assignments with. Okay, otherwise you'll freak out the grading program. So please do name it this way. And if you name it any other way during homework submissions, you will get a 0. Okay, so let's compile and run the program now. Okay, just to be sure, email, not some other Gmail email account. Okay, I've had students do that in the past, so I just want to avoid that same mistake. Okay, okay, so now let's compile. GCC is our compile command. We're going to compile our homework file, the .c, and we are going to say output it to the same name, but without the .c extension. Okay, now we list it out. You'll see this is our homework file, and this is our program. And you'll notice that is not regular text, is information that only the computer knows how to decipher. So that's how you know whether you're using source code or a binary executable or an executable file, right? So the .c is for human readable text, and without the .c is for the computer and machine to use. Now, to run it, we're going to say in this current directory, run the file that we've created. Again, there's no .c extension. And you also notice that when you list it out, it shows up as green versus white. Okay, so we'll run it. And there, our program is running. So one thing to note, some common pitfalls, is this is the command we want. Do not do this or just that. Okay? So this will overwrite your actual program file, and this will create an output file that's a.out, which is not the convention we use. No harm will be done. It's just a little cleaner, and at least you know what the .o and output file name is doing. So let's just run it like this and see what happens. Okay, so we are compiling this file and outputting the executable to the same file name, and which essentially overwrites our code. Okay, so we reopen this. It is binary. I mean, it's not human readable anymore. So we essentially lost our source code. But luckily, we can just copy the hello world back over it. And now if we open it, oops, we'll have our source code because we just copied over from hello world. Okay, so avoid doing that. And let's just see what happens if we did it, we compiled without the -o option, the output file name option. So we list it out, you'll notice it'll create an a.out, which is also, it's okay, but we should just try to do everything in a similar fashion. So to remove a file, we'll use the rm command, and now it's gone. Okay, so I guess the computer still thinks it's an executable. So to fix that, we'll just remove it and then copy hello world back. And now it'll register as a normal text file. Okay, so those are some common pitfalls with compiling. With running, okay, you make sure you're in the same directory with the folders. So with the files, if you list out the content of the directory, you should see the executable file that you're trying to run, which is this one. So we'll say current directory, and this file is to run it. Okay. So common pitfalls with this command when you're trying to run it is you're trying to run the source code, and that just doesn't work. Okay. So if I did that with the .c, trying to run the source code instead of the executable, it's just going to error out. The last thing I want to go over is you have to save the file in order for the changes to register. Okay, so if up is to use the previous command. Okay, so if I compile and I run it, it does what I expect. Now if I change it, I use a shortcut to save. You can just save it like that. Now if I compile and run, the program changes. Now if I don't save, so now I don't save, and if I try to compile it and run it, the program will not be updated. So if I make a change, I gotta save the file of the program, and now when I compile and run it, the program should be updated. So that's the other pitfall that I've kind of seen. Okay, so I hope that helps. You should be able to compile and run a program in C, and good luck.